Monday again. Minecraft again. Back into some Create Astral. Back to our trains and factories. Windmills and all that. Back in the new house. Alright, what are we doing today? Oh yeah, that's that fox. Our foxy conductor. Let's see. So a bunch of things that we'll eventually want to do. I was thinking for the start of this today, though, a thing we might look at doing is working some more on the tracks. I think was that last stream we maybe started off with working on some new bridges to go across. And let's see, what else? Might we want some more train stations? Maybe so. I think we might also want to go back to the moon to get more things. I was looking a little bit between streams at there go our trains. Between streams, looking at some more of the applied energistic stuff, thinking about how we might get going on that. I can't say I really have a firm idea of like how many resources we need and those sorts of things, but just trying to figure out what was possible in the pack was kind of the main thing I was trying to figure out. And one thing I noticed, it looks like auto crafting is not available. Like the crafting patterns aren't available in this. So basically for AE2, what we'd be able to do is like item storage. So not having to do this. And for... Hold on, let me turn that music down a little bit. It suddenly was a little loud. Okay, maybe that's better. Yeah, so item storage and retrieval and those sorts of things, and then also the spatial storage seems like a thing that we could do eventually, and I'm led to understand that's a way to eventually be able to move spawners. So that might be a thing to do now that we've gone to the moon twice now. We can go back a third time. I did. It's actually really easy to make oxygen tanks with the resources we had. We had a bunch of iron rods kicking around, and bronze sheets are easy enough for us now. So made a couple of those. So maybe we can go back to the moon. And gather some more resources there. Between streams, I did do a little bit more resource gathering and work to make more pavement, andesite pavement. You know, a little bit, but enough to continue the bridge work over here. Well, let's check that out really quick. So now that we have these bridges, I was thinking maybe a first thing we could do on the stream is on this stream today would be to tear down the farm. Maybe get these rails linked up and basically expand the railway out this way to have two tracks, right? One going out and one coming back in, something like that. So let me move away from the animals. So maybe have it come just out this way, and then down, and out over there, and then back. Could be good. Maybe we don't even have to tear out the where the crops and animals are right now. Do I have my package of tracks on me? We could get going on this right now. Let's do it. Things we could do later in the stream. There's lots of other things that we kind of need to do for progression and for being able to have resources to build more automation, like being able to automate brass and brass casings and that sort of thing, which entails to make the brass casings, you actually have to make the copper casings first. 1S. There we go. So copper, or brass rather, you use copper casings and you pour brass over them. And then of course the copper casing comes from andesite casing with rubber and copper sheets. So there's a whole process there, right? Does that carry on? I'm kind of curious. You? Maybe not. Maybe there's not another level of casing. Oh. Gyrodyne, muscle-powered copter. Engine. Alright, we're a little ways away from that. Where was I going with that? Right, to be able to kind of... actually, let's look at the quest book. So chapter 3, lots of things to do here. We did hand make some precision mechanisms, which if I would have found the pipeline again, we could have had some of this unlocked. Now that the rewards are not so great for the quests. Yeah, so I'm not too sad about that. Eventually we'll need to progress through, I guess technically, yeah, this has a dependency. So I guess technically in order to be able to unlock the next chapters, we do have to satisfy the quests in the right order. So that'll be a thing to do at some point. But I'm not too fussed about it. It's going to take us a while to kind of work our way through to be ready to go to Mars. And in the meantime, there's lots of things we need to do in terms of automation. Going back to the automation matrix. Lime dust, right? Lime dust from limestone. So automate limestone. And in these things, you know, we could do like one-off little automation things, but the way I've been thinking about this is, you know, if I'm going to set up a little factory, I want to go bigger than this. I want to have like multiple parallel things processing. And so to get there, we need to do basically what we've been doing and just kind of continue building infrastructure, building little factories to make a little bit to then get us the stuff to make more. So yeah, I guess I need to get better at okay, I completed a quest apparently. Need to get better at thinking and talking while I'm also doing this sort of thing too. Okay, so making some space here to be able to put down some tracks to get over there, and we'll kind of skirt around the farm maybe. We'll see how that works. But yeah, so later on we can probably work on maybe I know we're gonna need a kelp farm, like bigger than the little kelp thing we have over there, that also is smoking and packing into blocks, because we'll need that. I mean, we already need that for this, although we don't need a ton of kelp blocks for powering the melter in this, but some of the other things we'll also need that. We also need a source of zinc. Want to get that going. And we've already kind of like shown the process. I think we did that on the that 12-hour stream the other week, where where there was what was it? We milled granite into red sand and then washed the red sand into zinc nuggets. So we could look at automating some of that. We have a source of granite, but there's a better, faster, more scalable, source of granite. But it requires quartz and diorite. Or, well, no point in using red sand to make it. We're trying to get red sand. Right, so we can crush... Ooh, or terracotta. That would also be an option. On the other hand, we get 1.25. If we did terracotta... I mean, we're making clay now. Right, we could automated pack the clay and then bulk blast it into terracotta. And then either mill or crush it. So that's an option as well, one that I had not considered. I was thinking of going the granite route, which you have to make a bunch of quartz. It's what's in this book here, right? So automate zinc from quartz plus cobble. Oh, we did set up the clay train. That's already done. Convert cobblegen to compressed andesite was something else we could look at doing, assuming we need to have lots more cobble than what we're generating right now. And then the other thing was automating quartz from cobble. So if we instead got our zinc from washing red sand that we get from terracotta, then we don't need those extra things. But we are almost definitely, we're definitely going to need to produce more clay than what we're producing right now. And some of that comes down to we're using millstones. So if we switch to crushing wheels, it could go faster. There are some better ways to produce clay. At least they seem to be better based on kind of the research I was doing in this a few weeks ago. But I think it's something we'll just take a little bit of time. I don't want to like build a huge factory, given our not too limited resources, but limited in terms of like our ability to make like brass funnels and things with brass, right? It's kind of limited. Like handcrafting those things. So I don't want to like invest in doing a big build like that unless the build is actually automating like the production of brass, which is a build I do have. We'll get to. How is this gonna work? If I like fill this in, are we gonna have room? We could probably go through there and then. Are we doing a 2 gap or no? We're doing at least a 3 here. So we do rail 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we could have it going this way and then down. So let's let me do this. Let me grab some rails and kind of just get a sense of how this is all going to link up. I think I was originally thinking that I was just going to have the rails here just go right through there. I don't think there's a need to, right, to go up just to come back down because we're trying to go over that way, kind of around the hill. So, shift. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, how tight of a turn can we make here? Not that tight of a turn. Yeah, so we could go here. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna have to move some of the animals, it seems like. to pull this off. That's fine. Alright, alright. Just want to fill this in a little bit so I don't fall through the rail. See, like, it's safe right here, but if this was not filled in, then I would fall through. Alright, so... oh, there's plenty of room. I'll just... yeah, I can do that. I can just move the animals a bit over. Do I have any wheat? Definitely. Alright, so... gonna get the rail to go around, and then... I suppose I really just need to unpack one of those, right? Okay. You know... do I have any extra fence in here? Nope. How's this gonna work? I guess I will... I'll just let whatever ones go. I'm gonna corral them back. That's fine. Whoops. Alright, everyone back over here. Okay. So, we have some one bone meal. Great. Alright, is this gonna be enough room? Let me, there we go, okay. I have to clear some more land, but maybe this will be enough space to have the other rail come through. Still using a stone hand axe from long ago. Okay, so I want at least a gap of 3, right? I'm eager to be done with this part just to get away from the animals. The buying and mooing gets kind of annoying. Actually, pretty quickly. Alright. So one of the main reasons I want to get this rail done is that it's going to make things, one, a bit less busy in terms of, like, right now this rail line is just like one section. I wanted to say sector, but one like signal section. Is that the word that I found in the ponder the other day? Anyway. It's basically one train can be on it at a time, and the other one has to wait out. And yeah, I could add more signals, and we'll probably do that. But one of the reasons that's kind of not, I guess what am I trying to say? We need to add multiple signals to do something better than what we have right now, and it's just I think this is going to make it so that we should be able to have multiple trains like go in and visit like a quarry and collect resources and then go elsewhere. We'll probably have to add more intersections as we expand on this. think it's going to be really useful, and it doesn't use a lot of resources. It's just this time clearing land to make room for it, but time. Maybe. Alright, there we go. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to have a gap of 3. So I want the rail right there. Alright, let's see if we can get this linked up with a gap of 3 in the middle. And this is pretty odd looking like that, so let me clear some of that dirt out of the way. All right. Can we? Yeah. Okay, that looks not quite right. There we go. And then a couple more. Couple more. Nope. Have a block there. That's not right either. Okay, that looks acceptable to me. Alright, so now got that going. Alright, let's go that away. I feel like maybe I did a gap of 2 some other places, but the schematic here for the roundabout had a gap of 3, which kind of worked pretty well with the bridge, so I guess I'm gonna keep that spacing with this. All right, so I should get a better source of food so I don't have to stop and eat multiple things like that, but I'm not gonna. Do we? Oops. Oh, sand updates? Yeah. Okay. Now, if this is here, that's sort of like 3 blocks. It's pretty close together versus how it is up there. I don't know if I want to go any further though, given how space restricted we are here. Let's see what this looks like if I just if this will reach. Oh, here we go. Okay. Too steep? Yes. Okay. So maybe that could work. I would just need to move this forward a bit. So let's try having these go this way, and I'll pull a couple back. Let's see if we can get something that'll auto link. So that says we'll connect. That is quite the curve. Okay. Why not? Too far away. Oh, that's too bad. Can we get close? Too steep. How about here? Too far away. Too steep or too far away? Oh no. Okay, well let me bring it a little closer to the edge. Too far away? Not enough tracks, oh no. That we can fix though. So my concern with this is going to be how odd this is going to look versus like this curve. I guess we're going to find out. Okay, that's not that bad. We can add some blocks underneath to not have floating tracks. All right, and then so we're doing a right-hand drive. Turn 2 sharp, huh? Okay, can I... Wait for this train to get out of the way. Should be pretty quick. We're just not generating all that much clay. At the end of the day. Cannot start connection from a turn. Okay. Can we go back further? I think we can go back at least one further. Let's see if this will work. Turn 2 sharp. So we can go here. We can go over here. Can we go back further? Nope. Can I go back further? That's closer than I want that to be. So let's put that back there. Okay. How to do this then? We may have to move the station. Which I really don't want to do because we have things kind of just lined up for the unloading to be aligned with where our trains are. So I don't know if I would want to move the station. Actually, could we... Like, one thing we probably want to do is we're going to have this so that you can... The train will either be able to pull in here, or it can continue on. We don't want to have every single train that wants to continue, like go on this line, go through the station, because then it ends up being blocked, right? Time for a snack again, I guess. So... I think we're gonna have to move the station, unfortunately. Yep, trains are now having problems. All right, so we can connect to that. Out of the way. And what we want to do is we want to have this so that this can also continue, like wherever we start curving. There we go. Let's have this go out this way. And ideally we want the front of the train for the station to stop. Yeah, that'll be fine. That we just got to figure out where the station needs to be positioned for the trains to stop at the right place. So, should be somewhere in here. I don't know exactly where. I guess there's not really a way. I have to... Hold on. So, first of all... Oh. Interesting. I can't right-click the station anymore. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to be able to once I broke the track. I'm guessing that flipping the lever updated the block. Okay. One of these spots? Maybe it's that one? Alright, and so this is Acacia. A-C-A-C-I-A. Is that how you spell Acacia? Pyramid Factory. Is what I had called this before. So, oh. Trying to figure out how to get back there. Excellent. Or, I guess, nominally the conductor on the train, right? What was that? The lava train? The lava train is the B, right? Or are they both B's? I forget. Okay, so we're gonna need to clear some more land here for our other track. Because we want to have like a gap of 3, and yeah, so that should be good. Alright, does this line up? No. Well, that's unfortunate. Time for a nap, though. Let's see if I can do the thing I was thinking of doing. So Control C, copy, and then we'll break that, and we'll move this forward maybe to there. Station is idle. Yeah, okay. Can we assume control? Okay, good. So if this train is aligned properly with the station placement here, then hopefully that means the other train will be also placed correctly. Alright, so onwards with our I wanted to say trailblazing, but that's not quite right. Track blazing? Our track lane? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, so the next thing here is to get this connected up to this track. I'm probably going to take out this section of track right here and relay it. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah. That train can now come onto the track because that set of track is no longer connected to this. Something like that. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Let's go there. Yeah, that train doesn't have a way to get over here now. Makes sense. Okay, so this is all for the track for trains going that way. Or do I want to... I mean, I could... yeah, let's actually bring this up and we'll route around a little bit. And what I mean by that is do something like this. Turn too sharp. This could be good. That bend is kind of weird. You know, I think I have a better idea looking at that. Let's take this and go over here. Too far away. Too sharp? Too far away. Too sharp. Oh, really close. Okay, so the issue is let's bring this like two closer, and maybe we can make this work. Nope. Okay. Okay, maybe I want to go a different way then. So we're going to link up to this, and we're trying to get over to here. No. And that's too far away. Okay, so that's no good. We don't want to intersect. I don't like that though. Alright. How about here? Can we look? Yep. There we go. As long as our trains aren't too long, this will be fine. Which so far they aren't. We'll have to. We'll cross that track when we get to it. Alright, so then figure out how to make this all line up, right? Something like this. There we go. And then maybe like that. And then over here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So right here, we'll keep the spacing we want. So the train's coming from the roundabout and across the bridge, and come down and continue on towards the stone quarry. Now we can recover some of this old track. So how do we want to do this? I don't want to disturb that tree, so I think I'm going to have a second track, have the return track over here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, like that. Yep. And then this join here on this line can go away. So that continues straight. And this one, the turnaround is fine, but we're going to have it turn to meet a point a bit further away, right? So that might be good. Yeah. I think we do probably have to be careful about Like once things are properly linked up, then the train will probably just start going. I guess we'll get a little bit of warning because it'll say that the train has found a path. Too steep. That's too bad. Maybe we can back up a bit. Can connect. There we go. All right, and I'm just gonna have this go straight out to actually here. I don't suppose. No, that's not quite right, is it? Let's see. I think I'll cut through the ground here. Yeah. To here. And then our goal will be to bring this track to this point. Too sharp of a turn. Oh yeah, that needs to go. Trim that back a little bit. Okay. Will it line up? Too steep. Okay. You know, I kind of like how it allows me to connect the track. It says, yeah, that's a good path, even though there's blocks in the way and it won't place, you know, some of the track. But just legitimately, I know I like the it doing that just because it helps me figure out like what will connect. Even I have to go, you know, dig out some blocks to make it actually work. I guess we can do that. And eat some more grapes. I think there was still, yeah, there's still a section of track to go, right? Okay, so let's see, we're aiming to go to like 1, 2, 3, 1. There we go. Oh, there's a hole right there. Okay. Well, we're getting there. Alright, so we're going to connect this down to here. That was all of my track. Gotta run all the way back over. It's interesting that that's still staying there. I guess that this is actually working for once. Are we? No, we're full. So this was the thing I was concerned about. If we are still using lava, which we're not, because we're not producing seared stone, because we're out of clay. Yep, we're out of clay. Okay, so this should not be producing any or consuming any lava. So this may be, I don't know if this is supposed to be looking like it's pumping, but it can't be. There's nowhere for it to pump it to. So what's the deal? I need to tell it to resume the schedule, apparently. Now, can it? It should be able to go up and get to the our infinite lava source from here. Okay, well anyway, while it's doing that, I still need to get some tracks. And I left them in a package over here. I wonder if it's a signaling issue. There's a signal there. And the back of this is not connected to... Makes me wish I had a spare signal on me. Actually... maybe I do? Probably not that one, no. Probably not tools either. Although... There we go, that's something I can put back in there. Red? Nope, out of signals, okay. I think I still have a few spare electron tubes. So maybe I could make a signal just to carry around a couple with me, so we can visualize the signaling. But the back of this is not connected to anything, so the only thing that, like, this should be like its own section. What's your schedule look like? Cargo idle or station powered? Okay. No suitable scheduled destination could be found. Huh. Really? Do we have something going on where it's not actually linked up, even though it looks like it is? Or did we fail to, like, make one last connection here? Tracks are missing beneath the train, yes indeed. Alright. Derailed? Oh, No station on graph matches Acacia Pyramid Factory. Oh, it's not. Oh, I see. Okay. Now, where was this supposed to be? Acacia Pyramid Factory. Click. No suitable path to the next scheduled destination could be found. What's the next scheduled destination? Oh, I see. Okay, go to Lava Station. Can you do that? That's the issue. Its schedule was to go to here. I think we're gonna have to move that. But anyway, so right, and there's no way to get here currently, so that's why I was confused. All right, so yeah. Let's get this linked up now. I will at some point have to come back and just like prettify the area under the tracks, around the tracks. That is something I would like to do. Okay. So now a train could... Why does this look like that? Okay. Train can come from the roundabout and come down and go all the way out to the quarry. Now we just need to link this up. Maybe there is good. A little close, but it's fine. And let's go. Out and out and out. Too far away. It's too far away. Okay. Down there, and then maybe come back up. And then turn too sharp. Oh yeah, we need to come back a little bit. Back a little bit. Want to link up there? Yes. All right. Now our item train should be coming through. So many grapes. Alright, so did that. Somehow also, I think it maybe did. It did, and we got some items. They kind of look like blocks, but I'm assuming those were clay balls. Well, they're ingested now. Yeah, they must have gone into the crude storage unit, so should be good. At some point, we should have a lava train coming back. Or stuff is stuck. This could also be the case. Oh, something's stuck. There's the lava train. Why is this block here? Interesting. Also, we definitely need more signals because that item train has nowhere to go except the yeah, we definitely need signals because at least signals around. Oh, and we also need like a little station thing at the stone quarry. With signals there as well. So let's make some signals, because otherwise our trains are going to be stuck now. Now that we've changed things up a bit. Alright, so signals. Signals. Train casing and electron tubes. We have train casings in one of our toolboxes. Which one? Don't know. Really, it could be any of them. Maybe it's parts? Nope. I would think that. I did have train casings in one of them, right? Was it red? It was. All right, so we just need like no more than 3. I also need to do something with all this dirt. Yep, do some compression. Speaking of which, we should check on our little stone compression thing at some point. We didn't do it at the beginning of the stream, which is breaking with tradition, I know, but I gotta put down some tracks. Alright, stuff I don't need to carry around with me. Right. Electron tubes? Are there? No, I have polished rose gold. I think there's some electron tubes in a chest here. There's 1. And those are not signals, those are observers. Okay. But this makes 2, right? Oh, 4. Even better. Cool. Alright, so signals. How do they work? We make sections of track that trains know only one train is allowed to be on at a given time. Basically. And so that we can keep... if a train is on a section of track, no other train should come onto it, so that there's no risk of collisions. So... yeah, 4 is not going to be enough. Right. The best we could do here would be... like, we could put a signal here. No, I guess we could put... Here's what we can do with the limited number of signals. We can put a signal there. And we can put a signal on the other side of this, so that when a train is in this area, it's no longer on the rest of the track system. It's in this part. And so then another train could come onto that. And then we can do something similar. Ow. That was pretty close. And all the grapes are gone. Alright. Oh my. Okay, so we can do something similar over the other place. And so then if a train is busy loading clay, then another train could come into the rest of the loop over here. And that train that was loading would be stuck there until the train had made its way through, which is better than them just being stuck forever. Excluded from participating at all. So, to make this work, we need to move these tracks around a little bit, right? Because what we need is like a continuation. I mean, the other thing we could do is we could have this loop before this. And so the whole loop would be this station. Oh, hey, the lava train made it in. Cool. What is going to be easier to do? Yeah, I guess we can, there's no food around here anywhere. Okay. What we can do is we can set up another track here. Yeah. And to here somewhere. Yeah. And then, oh, didn't want that. Was not paying attention to whether it was straight or not. Fell in a hole. All right, I am going to take a quick break and be back in just a few minutes. Oh my. All right. There we go. Alright, what were we doing anyway? Trying to get this... I don't think we needed to go this far, right? So, basically I wanted just a... Hold on, let's take a nap. Take a little short circuit of our loop here. Right. Yeah, I think so, right? So we'll... Like, we can't tighten this loop up anymore. We need to have it... What can we do? We can have this branch off this way. What am I trying to do here? Oh, okay. Okay, I think I get it. Lost the thread for a minute, but I think I get it. What I was thinking was that this will loop over or connect over to here, and we'll just kind of like join up with this somehow. Was the hope? Maybe not, the way this is set up. Okay, let's tear some other things out. Okay. Can we... No, that's too far away to do that. So can we come down to here and then come over to here? And sort of. Okay. Yeah. Alright. And we can tear this back down a bit, as long as we don't take out this parts of the track. And then join it to this. Too steep. Okay. So we can go there. It's not gonna work the way I had it, but I'll just tear some of this out and do it again. So we can join that and clear out some dirt here. So the goal is basically to have one track for the train to go down if it's trying to load, and then alternatively it can take this track and then just turn around and go back if it wants to do a loop. I don't like the way that looks though, so let's back this up a bit, have this come down, and then I can join up here. There we go. And so the idea here is that we can basically put the signal nope, can't do that. And then we just need to have right. So then we get rid of some of this. And what we want to do is we want to have a piece of track from here join up to something over here. Somehow, some way. Too steep. How about there? Perfect. Sort of. Not at all. Okay, let's redo this a little bit. Okay. Can we have it go up to... Can we get up to there? Yes. That looks slightly less bad. Okay. Yep. So this section of track here is our station off something. I don't know. Not off ramp, but offshoot. I don't know the right word for it. And what we don't need is this extra third track over here. I don't know what I was thinking exactly, but we don't need that. Okay. So this is our return track, and so this return track needs to link back up to something, to this over here. So I'm gonna backtrack. Backtrack? Yeah. I'm gonna backtrack this. Oh wait. Where's this going? It's going nowhere. Well, gotta fix that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Nice efficient turn. And then we're trying to get over to there. So. Oh, and we are at the point where we cannot run anymore. Oh, and we're too far away. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we're trying to get to here. Let's work from this way. Okay. Maybe that will be close enough. Or maybe I'm out of track. Not enough track. It's happened. Oops. Alright, we're gonna go back to the track chest very slowly, because then again I can't run. I'll pick up some grapes on the way. That's why I've been eating them, because they're very handy, just growing in the wild. But it's not good food. It's just easy. All right, our trains are stuck. They are deadlocked currently. One on this outer track, can't get into that. Yeah, I made 4 and I've used all 4, right? So the issue is this train is in this section of track between the 2 signals. this train is waiting to get onto this track, and so it's on this outer track, and so it's occupying the outer track, and so yeah, we need at least the signal here. Yeah, at least. Unfortunately, I think that means we have to make more electron tubes. Rose gold is not hard to make. We have a few of the polished rose quartz, so we can do that. First, I'm gonna get some kind of food. Are these? This might actually be better than the grapes. You know what I think I'll do? I'm gonna grab a bunch of rice, and we'll eat cooked rice instead. That's more filling. That's the last thing we're growing here, really. Once we tore out pretty much everything else. And it's easy without any kind of automation, so let's get this going, and there we go. Okay. Let's make a couple more signals so we can fix our train situation, and we'll figure out what we're doing from there. And we have a couple more train casings handy, so that's good. So run back over to the, I guess it's the Acacia Pyramid Factory from the roof. I thought that was a good name when I had to come up with a name for the station, so. Names are hard. Alright, we got a good amount of our products here. 68% of a crude storage. In the grand scheme of things, I think that's not going to be a lot, but for right now, better than nothing. Alright, so how much rose gold? That should be... Oh, how did that go that way? Let's not make that mistake. So that'd be enough for 3. I guess we can smelt 1 more of each. There we go, rose gold. And that'll lock anything else. There we go. Great, 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 great. And it's gone. All right, so let's make 4 of these. Is this going to be a thing where it's decided that the hang crank is in the way? Yep. Cool. 4 should be enough for now to fix the situation. So if nothing else, we need a signal here. That'll unblock that, so that train can come in. I guess that's, at least for now, all we need. Now that train will be able to go down that way. I see some blocks where I don't want them in the tracks. Let me fix that. All right. And I guess the situation that we just dealt with there could happen down on the other end too. Right, if the other train wants to come along. Item train 1, no suitable. Oh, right, so we. Oh no, I forgot to get tracks. There are some extra tracks over here. Maybe even enough. You know what? I'm just gonna go back and get more tracks. We'll fill up our package. I can get some food while I'm there, since we're gonna be out anyway. I think I'd go this way. It's a bit safer. All right. Getting pretty low on those tracks at this point. All right, get some food too. am, we're about halfway into the stream, and I know I took a little break earlier, but I want to take another little one. Yeah, I guess I'll just I'll look at the train go. Love it. All right. Well, anyway, be back in just a few minutes. All right. Back to it. Alright, well, we've hopefully fixed the train situation a bit and set them up so now they're using the roundabout and all that. So what's next? That's a good question that I've just asked myself. Okay, so this train's sitting here trying to get into the station. I guess I put the signal on the inside there, so it's waiting there. Makes sense. This is kind of... It is what it is. There could be like more things we could do in terms of ensuring that trains would be able to continue on. But this is fine for the moment. And we didn't have to tear down the farm yet. I still am intending to do that eventually. We're going to need like plant matter for things, I understand. So having a nice big farming, like automated farm, will be necessary at some point. But for now, this is fine. If you didn't know, this andesite pavement that I used in this build does give you speed while you're on it. Yeah, I think I said before when I was showing this design for this bridge off before that I'm kind of trolling myself a little bit, right? Because I'm used a block that makes you run faster, but used it to put tracks on for the train. The train doesn't get speed, but it tempts you to want to use it only to be hit by trains, right? So, okay. So yeah, so this section of the track should be a lot quieter now. Like, there aren't any our two trains over there aren't using this section of track anymore, so it's a little safer for now. Yeah, what to do? Let's see. Let's throw some of these things in there. Toss those in there. I have a box that doesn't go in. Was it the original box that I was putting the signals in? Yes. Perfect. Well, until I can figure out what I want to do next, one thing we can do is we can check on our compressed block situation. See if we've hit another milestone. So we got our compressed cobble. We're up to quintuple, 5 quintuple, 5 quadruple. Some compressed, some triple. Nice. What, 4 more quintuple for the sextuple? then for diorite, not doing nearly as good. I think I put some of the existing cobble in this basin to start it out. What's happened here? Why are there crushing wheels in there? Did I somehow throw them out at some point? I must have. I don't know how else they would have gotten there. That's pretty... Yeah, like that. That's how they got there. So 1 sextuple, 3 quadruple. How did I manage to throw crushing? Weird. What did I do? Anyway. And then we're up to 7 quadruple. Okay. Not nearly as impressive, although we're up to getting close to quintuple. It's not close to throwing those back in. Yeah. And that's how easy it is to accidentally throw other things in there, huh? Okay. Right, we have crushing wheels now. In fact, I made a few more since they're pretty easy to do. Although I think I left me some silver for later, a little bit. We could go to the moon again, gather some more resources. Let me look again at the A2 chapter. Maybe there's some merit in like looking at that, or suffer through making another precision mechanism. We might need some more dash to do that. Alright, so 6 dash nuggets. But then we can make the quadrocopter. Yeah, that's pretty doable. So, the Astral Storage chapter. I don't know. This is gonna be like a whole thing that I need to would need to do. Probably have to refresh my knowledge of like the beginning of 82 as well. Make an inscriber. Have to power it too, right? So maybe this is getting a little ahead of ourselves until we progress in chapter 3 a bit, because I know there's some power, electricity source over here. Power the world. All your energy can be transferred around with easy-to-use wires now. And you get a manual. A lot of unclaimed stuff, huh? Oh yeah. Hey, I should grab all this. I never did that. If only I could remember which toolbox is for what, besides the ones that are properly labeled. Okay, so light gray apparently is the one that I have a lot of the fluid stuff in. In you go. I guess I can go with that. I don't have any spouts, so I'll put the smart pipe there. Smart fluid pipe. Okay. Yeah, the 82 stuff is kind of tempting in terms of just like not having a bunch of chests scattered everywhere. just have everything into digital storage, but I don't think that's really feasible to do right now. Maybe the quadrocopter would be good. To do. I think that's something we could probably do today with the remaining time of the stream. And I'm not really feeling like I don't have like a build or a project ready to go quite yet. I mean, the other thing we could do is we could look at what could we do? Yeah, I don't think we have time to really get into like doing another build, like a big build today. We do need to automate zinc. We need to probably add on to our existing factory. Well, there's a thought. So now that we have the crushing wheels, one of the things we could do is work on processing the acerine and viridium. Like I have a build. Yeah, let's take a step back. So I have a build for a automated andesite, copper, and brass casing factory. Right, that's the thing that I was going to put over here. Its inputs are, let's see if I can remember them all off the top of my head. So it needs rubber tree, wood, logs, right? So we can produce that at the tree farm, although we don't have a automated loading mechanism for a train yet. But we've done that. We could do that again. It's not too bad. It needs kelp blocks. So maybe that's something else we could do, is just like a kelp factory. I have a schematic for one that we could build a thing around and scale it up and do all that. I have oh right, so then other inputs are raw copper, right? So taking the viridium and putting it through the millstone or the crushing wheels. And then it takes zinc nuggets, because that's what you get from washing red sand. I figured that would be a good input. So it assumes you have it in nugget form when you ship it to it. Clay balls and andesite, right? Because it needs to make the andesite compound to make the andesite casings to do that process, right? So it's like 6 inputs for the factory that we will eventually need to be able to ship to it. The other thing is it requires a bunch of resources, right? Because it needs all the basins and whatnot, and it also uses a few brass funnels and some other things that require brass, I think, if I recall correctly. So it's kind of getting ahead of ourselves to worry about building that quite yet when we don't have the resources automated to supply it. Just taking in also how our tracks are coming along. It's looking pretty cool, even the kind of leftover stuff from before. It's getting pretty interesting to look at. Okay, so let's do the quadrocopter. I think it'll be useful. One, when we are just like working on factories, trying to tune them up or adjust them or whatnot, and also for just general, like, oh, we have the schematic cannon going, I want to watch it. Since I don't have like a free cam mod or anything like that, we can get in this and fly around. So the most annoying thing is the precision mechanism. We need 6 dash nuggets. Do we have any left in this? Oh yeah, we do. We could, okay, so all we need is a gold sheet. Maybe 80% chance. Also, we made a bunch of iron sheets for no reason, I guess. Parts box. There we go. Oops. All right, so that was not on the belt. We just gotta cycle this 6 times, and we should have another precision mechanism. What else do we need? Well, we need a red seat. There's some of those around. At one point, I had a couple in my inventory. Let's just steal this one. Yoink. And then large sails is 6. So 12 sails. We might have that. Here or... Oh, we got 8. Lots of useful stuff in there. Stick. Oh, hey, look, golden sheets. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, wool. There's 1 wool. How many wool is it? 1 to make 2, but we need, okay, so we need at least 1 more wool. Okay. Do I have shears? I do. I'll go shear some sheep. I'm pulling out things that I think I have slots for in the toolboxes. Might as well just keep those things on me, right? So we can make 1 of those. Do that before I forget what I'm doing. Let's also go check on precision mechanism. Pass 1. Alright, well, that's doing that. Let's go get some more wool. I should think about how we could link this back up. Or do something so I can take the train back over here. And because like right now it's kind of dead-ended, so might as well grab a bunch while I'm over here. I was gonna ask what I used all that wool for last time, because I remember being over here and grabbing a bunch, but it was for gray carpets for the house on the hill. There's some in a toolbox. Take a look at that in a minute. parts. Great. I guess I'm gonna need more than one. I'm also looking for something to make sticks out of. There we go. That's not. There we go. I was about to say that's not how you make a stick. Okay. There we go. 2 of those. All right, round 3. Okay, so we got 2 of those. We got that. Propeller. Okay, so we need 8 iron sheets and an andesite alloy. Not a problem. Propeller, and what are we making out of that? Large propeller. Got it. All right. 9 of 18. All right, what else? This is going quicker than I thought it might. Hulls. So we need 2 of these. So we need 8 andesite casings. We might have those in parts. Nope. In the red box? Nope. Over here? Nope. We can make a bunch more though. Let's make a bunch of, let's make a few casings. And iron. Easy enough. Alright. Uh, 12 of 18. Couple more times through. Alright, so we're doing this. Alright. And one more time through. And we'll see if we were successful. 4 out of 5 times, right? It works. Fingers crossed. Oh, looks successful. Ah, got it. All right. So hulls, sails, propeller, mechanism, and seat makes the quadrocopter. No advancement, no nothing, just a quadrocopter. Okay. Space goes up. Perfect for building, and that's about it. Okay. So there's no fuel for this? It just goes, I guess. But we're flying. Now we don't have to worry about trains hitting us. And that's a long ways to go around just to turn around. Should do something about that. Shift for Going down? Yes. Good. Oh, we're almost full of rubber logs over here. That's fine. It mostly stays unloaded anyway. Well, that happened a lot quicker than I was thinking it was going to. I think because I was not anticipating that we had that many dash nuggets left, and basically everything was set up to produce more precision mechanisms. So it looks like we have a few more precision mechanisms that we could make if we want to need anything else like that. But yeah, this definitely gives a different perspective on things. Huh. Great. Now what to do? Oh yeah, let's check out the statue. I spotted this. I don't know at one point, but I know I was looking at a VOD the other day, and I looked down at this from up there. But I didn't make this. This was just auto-gened into the world. Which, I mean, yeah, free resources, but why would I break that? Just leave it there. Okay. I think the next thing we should do should probably be to figure out how to put this thing away. And then there was a thing that was, I think it was R, it said. Oof. Also reload shaders. So does that just... I assume we can pick this up. Okay. Cool. Well, that's a thing we have. In our pocket. I'm gonna put away these extra rails. There we go. Okay. I guess. Oh yeah, this is kind of the way. Okay. I'll put those in there. Oh wait. How many? Oh, that's not good. I changed my mind. That's the thing, right? Is that, okay, there's 8 left, but it takes 6, so we really only have 1 precision mechanism, assuming it works. So, yeah, let's leave that as that for now. Toss some stuff away into chests, wherever we can fit it. It's fine. And right, so we have a little, I mean, we've had the seared melter and heater and the basin and stuff here for a long while, but we have this now in the house up there. And for builds, I think I'm of a mind of just like, I don't think I'll ever remove these little buildings here from spawn, even as we move to bigger and better things. But the stuff that's scattered on the ground is gonna go. It doesn't need to be here. It is something that we'll be able to reuse for other things, like the faucets and the basins and all that stuff. So that stuff I'm going to put away for now. The casts will be helpful. I'll bring up the fuel with me. And I do also want to grab out my Tech Reborn wrench. There we go. And we'll, I think we'll just take all this stuff up to the house for the moment. Yep. All must go. So here's a question for you. Can I break... Yes, okay. And it has all the things in it, apparently. Hopefully. Some of these are empty. Yeah. This is the right tool? Yes. Alright. We're just gonna move some of our stuff up to the house. That was one of the things that I wanted to do. I do eventually want to like clear up all of the random contraptions and have proper builds for things that are not part of a big, you know, like factory. You know, anything that's going to be like one-off production. You know, like we have the glassblowers workbench here from Chipped. All of those like decorative things, and then here, the seared melter and heater can be there. We can put our anvil and our vanilla anvil over there. Casting chest can go right there. Get a couple of those two. Nice. That's a lot of storage, isn't it? All right. So what do we have here that's not empty? Copper wire. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Copper ingots, sure. Silver ingots, sure. Gold ingots, why not? Yeah, but this is kind of why I wanted... I mean, this would be kind of redundant if we had applied energistics. Maybe. Oh, let's go. It's inaccessible. Here, I'll just break this too. There we go. Is that... yeah, 10 blocks. Store data. Oh, 0 blocks of zinc. Got it. Okay. Get some empty. Oh, perfect. Here's my crude storage unit of crude storage units. I'll just lock that. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. So that'll do for the moment. And did I have a place for the? There we go. Great. Tools. Done with that for now. I'm not gonna put it. In fact, I'm gonna get rid of that slot for the wrench. I never want the wrench to end up in there. I'll put the sledgehammer in there though. That frees up a slot. I was about to use my sleep bag, which would be silly. We have a bed right here. Checking something really quick. Great. Okay. Well, what next? There's a plan. We built bridges, so that's done. Move tankers set up to house. We did that. That's done. Now, I don't know. So, automate quartz from cobble. How does that work? And do we need to do that? Those are two questions, right? So, we can crush moon sand into quartz. Diorite. Was this the path that I was thinking about? Oh. Wait. Can't you wash soul sand? Yeah, you wash soul sand and you get gold and nether quartz, right? I have done that before.
Well, here's the sweet shop's answer.
And then soul sand is relatively easy to get. We just bulk hunt sand, which we can do since we have soul sand to light on fire and blow over. And sand we're already making. We could probably make more efficiently now that we have crushing wheels. So we could do that. But that's that's a lot of steps from where we're at. Maybe we can come up with, here, let me bookmark that. Something else we can do now with the remaining time on the stream. Well, all this stuff is done. Well, done-ish. Automate zinc. Yeah. Terracotta. Pulp blast clay. Clay can be automatic packed. And all of that is in service of making red sand, which can be washed to get a chance of zinc, right? And we do need nuggets in the factory, specifically for this process here. And then to also melt them, right? To melt them and then use the molten zinc to make brass. What would be involved? What's involved in making the oxygen distributor? So we need 2 oxygen tanks. I might just make another 2. Desh ingots, I think we have a couple of those left. Oxygen gear, just doable. Engine fans, which is also doable. We have the oxygen loader, which seems to not be that useful, it seems like. At least I can get it to work. Although the question is, will the oxygen distributor, hopefully that works. And then, I guess another question is, so here's a thought. Just put my bag down for a bit. Let's get our spacesuit out. So things I don't know. Let's list them out. I don't know if you brought a bucket of water to the moon. Could you put that down? Will it like instantly freeze or something? Don't know. What else don't I know? I wonder if the quadrocopter works on the moon. You wouldn't think it would, given there's no atmosphere, essentially. But I guess we could find out. So that could be an interesting experiment. So what I'm thinking right now is maybe we'll just go to the moon. We'll bring some water with us. See how that works. And go from there. Yeah, so... I guess I should also fix the track for the farm. A little bit. Yeah, let's do that right now. You know, if I'm going over there, there's this train. A train right here that takes me right there. Got so used to having to walk over here because of reasons that just got in the habit of doing that. Of course, then I left my wrench. This looks like it's gonna connect, but it doesn't. I left this disconnected. Okay, should be able to link this up though. Maybe? Yes. Although, very weird looking, it does actually work like this. Nope, I don't have my wrench on me, so I just have to leave it like that. Too much of a hassle to try to fix without the wrench, and I don't have any blocks on me either, so we need to like build up so that we could have this ramp up to the same level so that it joins properly. And it just have to be that way. Now, question is, does this now break things, introducing a third train in? It shouldn't. Oh, maybe it does, right? Because there's no signal, and I don't have my toolboxes, so I can't fix this. Is there a second seat on this train? There is. see if I can just manually. Okay, there we go. It's moving on. Oh, quest completed. Water bucket. Great. Yeah, I probably have to. Skip the night. Alright, so we are lacking some signals to allow this setup to fully tolerate having a third drain participating. But we'll get there. I do have some signals. Probably gonna have to fix this. I just don't have them on me, so. Great. We're wedged again, aren't we? Yep. I guess before we go to the moon, let's sort the situation out fully, because I would like to be able to take my personal train around. And it seems like that's not gonna work if I've not fixed the signals completely. All right, so the our train should be. Should have went back to the original train station. Back at spawn. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna sort this out, and then we're gonna go to the moon. Oh no! Let me out! Let me out! I guess I'll find it over there at the farm. Okay, so is it the red one? It is the red one that has. Is 3 train signals enough? Maybe. Maybe 3 is enough. Also, I don't need to carry around these this package of tracks with me. Can we run down the middle of this? I guess we can. All right. Oh. Interesting. So this section of track is now connected to the section of track over there. Okay, so what we can do, this section of track doesn't matter, it doesn't connect to anything. What we want to do is we want to segment this section of track from where it joins onto that. Right, so red light on means that the train shouldn't be allowed to advance past this point. So the train should be on its way over here now. I would think. Oh no, it went to the farm station. Right. It went to the farm station. If it didn't have the stop, it would have continued on though. Alright, so we get in. And we're allowed to continue on because that train got off the track. And we can continue to here. Okay, well. Ah, cool. Excellent. Alright, so now this train is occupying this section of track, but there's also a train occupying this outer track here. So if nothing else, we can put a signal here. Okay. So that train also wants to get in here. This train wants to get out of there. And is there a third train, or is it just these two trains deadlocked with each other? These are, no, that's blue and that's green. Blue and green. Huh. I was kind of expecting that it would be a train like here, wanting to get on to this track or something that's causing an interruption. Where's the lava train? Okay, it's here. And this is set up so that it's not supposed to advance because of these corners, you can tell. And it's not supposed to advance if it can't make it all the way through. And this light's on because this section of track is occupied by a train. This blue section. Would it be enough to just put a signal here? Maybe. Maybe not. given that there's... Yeah, it's just stuck there now. That's not good. Let's get out of the rain for a minute so I can skip the night. It's not night. Oh, it's very night looking. Okay. So that just moved how far the train could come up to there. Alright, well, I'm just going to wait a couple minutes and then sleep, and then we'll figure out where the signal actually needs to be if it's not there. Okay, this is probably gonna mess with things. If I just remove the signal, we're probably gonna get a derail. It's unfortunate, yeah. When I have, I don't have my wrench on me. But maybe this will be illustrative of the problem. Okay, so this is green. And this is blue. But this is green. Okay. So, right. This section of track has the same color as this section of track? No. Some section of track. Over here. This one. So green and green. I need to do something like that, yeah? Or wait. No, it's past the station. What is this train doing? Waiting here. It's waiting for that signal. Oh. Maybe we just need a signal here. Is it that simple? Can we walk up a... Nope. Can't walk up a curve like that. What if we just borrow this? Okay. Well, it allows that train to go. Now we need to fix our other two trains that are derailed. And of course our train left us, so we can walk all the way back. Again. I just thought, you know, I was gonna go to the moon, right? I don't need the wrench for that. I'll just put it away. It's one less slot I have occupied. What could why not? All right. Take me back up. remember to actually get out of the seat in advance this time. Alright, so have I learned my lesson? Will I always keep the wrench on me? Guess we'll find out in time. I don't know. Is there still a signal down here? Yes, okay. Whatever. Yeah, it's up to be the same thing anyway. Whether I walk back to the train to have it come here, it's still gonna be stuck here. I'll have to run back to it. You fool! Why would you do this? Whee! Alright, so now I should be able to relocate this train, and it'll be on the... It'll be over here behind the signal. Oh, it's going that way. Bye. Yeah, I guess we loaded some items on, and now this is waiting behind this signal. I like the flashing animals. And oh, nope, yeah, there you go. I wonder what's causing that. Okay, well, let's get back on our train. Pay no mind to the face in the tree. I think that's the first time I was really close to one of those train derails like that. Because I don't know if I've ever heard it. I have kind of like the explosion sound effect like that. In we go. Now. Go to the station. And then we'll pull up to here. And then up to there. And that's blocked because there's a train trying to pull into the, whatever I called it, the Acacia Pyramid Factory. And that, because the lava train's still trying to unload, right? How long is it going to take? I don't know. Ah, okay. I was just about to give up. But that's how long it takes for it to decide to give up on trying to pump the lava, I guess. And then the item train is much quicker. And then we skip this station because we're not trying to get there. And then, yep, there we go. All right. Go over the bridge and through the roundabout. And across. And to the station. That's where we'll stop. All right. So, we are going to go to the moon as soon as I grab a little more food. Okay, that should be fine. More than enough, more than enough. I'm assuming if we try to sleep on the moon, it's going to be like the Nether. So we should probably not do that. Let's put our spacesuit on. Actually, might as well go and make sure it's completely full before we go. And oh no. I guess it's fine. I guess I could bring the hammer and use the hammer, but it's in a toolbox. Just have to live without it. There we go. So main things I want to do with this moon trip is play it safe. I should bring some blocks. Play it safe. Try out putting down water. See if that works. There's a lot of nether-like behaviors in what we've seen so far. So maybe that won't work. I don't know how you would generate oxygen otherwise, but I don't know. And see if the quadrocopter works. I feel like navigating around on the moon would be a lot safer if we could just get up above things, but I mean, realistically, the quadrocopter shouldn't work, but when is that stopped? Anything. Realism. Bah. Nothing has come out of the portal yet. Oh, hey, look, there's another wrench. Still there. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're better than any of the other 2 times we went in. So sure, let's do it. Now. Where's that hole that I found? Is it over here? Yes. excuse you. Oh, hey, Dudamas. It's going all right. It's been kind of a quiet day of streaming so far. Just kind of doing odds and ends. Found myself back on the moon again. How's your Monday been going? Just trying to chill before the week gets more intense. Yeah. Yeah. Mondays are always relaxing. Interesting. Calm before the storm, perhaps. There's some light. Alright, so I'm gonna find out here. So is this like the Nether? Where you can't... Okay, ice. Got it. So you can put water down, it just turns to ice. Yep. Don't know what I'm gonna do with that information. But somehow I think that plays into how we might generate oxygen. If we were to say want to have a more permanent establishment here. I guess I should, while I'm here, also find that pipeline again so we can at least get some quest progression going. How much scoria did I need? 16. Well, we got 24, so there you go. What else? Magma cream, blaze burner, gather soul soil. Okay. Anything down here we might want to grab? Yes. Skystone? How much of this did we need for the 3.5 quest? A stack. Wish I would have brought my hammer. I did this time bring a couple of oxygen tanks down. I'm assuming I just like hold it and right click. Let's test that now rather than later. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Might as well pick that up while I'm at it.
Wanted to call you early and say Happy New Year's before I get too blackout or brown out.
What?
Let me know.
Okay.
Whatever. I'll get it. Fine.
Skip a track. Oh, I see. There we go. Alright, alright. What else we got going on down here? More, Certus quartz dust. Anything else down here? Some lava. about that? That's annoying. Okay, there we go. Did I get it all? Good. Alright. I guess it doesn't look like there's too much more of this. Maybe I should just get it all while I'm here. Is there a way to make this? Yeah, sky stone dust into that. And then this can be milled. Or crushed. No, but it's 1 for 1. Apparently. So it's not like Create Above and Beyond. So you can exchange them, but you can't like produce more of them. Okay. And there's no other way to produce them? Seems like no. Well, I guess we could go find that pipeline again. Why am I mining in the dark? Yeah, how dark is it? That's a good point. Because I have no torches. Is the short answer. Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that, I mean, part of the reason I came to the moon this time was to get that, and yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Sorry about that. Do I have sticks? Nope. I could have grabbed some of the glowstone. Well, we're out now. Basically, I grabbed a bunch of skystone from there. Alright, so I don't suppose I guess I didn't waypoint the wherever that pipeline was. Is that it? Oh, I should pay attention to what's going on, huh? Oh, there are Endermen on the moon too. Alright, am I clear of things that would immediately attack me? Okay, so this is the pipeline, so I'm going the wrong way. Although, maybe I don't want to run over all that this time. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. See if there's. I mean, there's more than one, right? Pipeline. You've put a second portal. Yeah, that's an idea. Oh, I don't have the stuff for that, so we'll just run. I got some oxygen. Oh. Some lunar ice. What is this here? Anything good? A ladder? Can I go down, please? Let me down. Okay. Jeez. Ah. Interesting. Anything good in here? Hey, okay. I don't like the sound of that. Let's see. What's this place made out of? Stropher stem, iron plating, lunatic traveler. Which one's that? Toxic Heap, Lunar Basalt Delta Wastelands, okay. Alrighty. Dead end. If I get enough shimmering stone, I can. Oh no, I don't have the thingamajig to light the portal. Maybe I'll find one. Ooh, this is basic machine frame. Yeah, there we go. Nice. More space pants. Blackstone's nothing special, is it? Nah, okay. Three. I'm gonna guess this place is not large enough for there to be enough. Ooh. I think those are actually craftable. Yeah, you can haunt a brown mushroom. So I'm not gonna occupy my inventory with that. Okay. What do I hear buzzing? What is that? Aeronos planks? Interesting. Alright. Just random blocks of iron. I have plenty of iron. Yeah, in there. Okay. I think that's it. So what is this thing over here? It's lava. Why did I build off infinite lava? Apparently it's been built for me. So, think the loot's any good? Huh. Oh, okay. For a second, the perspective was like that's a giant one in the center. But no, it's just closer. Yeah, this is fine. Oh no, no. That's not good. Could have eaten that golden apple that I had on me. That could have been a good thing to do. Well, okay. Got greedy. That's all there is to it. So, how about automating sturdy sheets? Right? I mean, we have infinite lava. So we can pump lava, touching water, make obsidian, drill it, put it through crushing wheels, and then yep. Well, I would write that in my plan, but my plan is in my grave. Well, I think this is going to be the end for today. I don't have enough left in me to build a new spacesuit and get my stuff back, so yeah. I think tomorrow, not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, the next stream, that's what we're going to be doing, is we're going to probably set up some automation for sturdy sheets. It's annoying, like my pick. I guess really just the pick, right? It's the only thing that... And the wrench, but I have a backup one. Not that those are hard to make or anything, but... yeah, so sturdy sheets into spacesuit. Go and get stuff back. Maybe we'll make a second portal by the pipeline. Or find another pipeline. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. Time has actually kind of flown by, despite the fact that I feel like most of the stream has been just like setting up. Oh right, there is one other thing that is on my grave that we made, which was the quadrocopter. I made the quadrocopter and now I don't have it. Shoot. Well, at least the rail system is mostly working. So there's that. But yeah, we'll have to go back to the moon to get our stuff next time. Yeah, probably work on some other input automations to eventually build that that brass factory that I was talking about earlier in the stream. All right, I gotta stop here. Thanks for watching, hanging out, and all that. We're getting pretty close to the 20 follower goal. actually 3 new follows yesterday, so that was really awesome. But yeah. Again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.